do bring some pressure. Play fake. Ewers. Slam. Touchdown. Mitchell. What a response. On display tonight. Patrick in year 3. Leonard. Right into the hands of the Longhorn. Intercepted by Jerry Thompson. Empty backfield. Howard looking. Howard scrambles. Howard lets it go. Incomplete. Here in that first quarter for Texas Tech. Texas able to hold on.
Hello and welcome back to Parker's Predictions. He's Jimmy, I'm Parker, and we're back for the 2024 Texas football season.
First season in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of scared.
We're here.
Kind of scared. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to see what this team... The team went out on a little bit of a high-low note. They battled.
We also played a great Washington team.
That quarterback.
He had the game of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do anything against that.
Yeah. I'm super excited to see how... you hear things from... on the Texas side and the old Big 12 side, you hear people talking about Texas is going to go in and dominate year one in the SEC. I'm thinking a little bit more realistically. They got a lot of tough matchups, and I'm not so scared of the teams, but the fans make a big difference.
The fans
in
do
these
make
games.
a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Every game's going to feel like Texas OU.
Yeah,
especially in
exactly.
year one. Yeah. I say that about the SEC teams. They start off with Colorado State.
That's not really a big matchup. That's in DKR.
Mm-hmm.
Open the season.
Yeah.
Really put up those points.
Yeah.
See how the team's looking.
Yeah.
And just try to treat it like a practice game, but still don't go too easy.
Yeah. I think this is the kind of game where you kind of get your feet underneath you a little bit,
mm-hmm.
right? First game of the year. To Colorado State, this is their champion. This is their national championship.
If they win this game, they're in it.
And there's going to be an upset somewhere out there. So
there is going to be an upset every single week.
There's going to be a good team that goes down week one, and let's just hope that it's not us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's just hope, and then week 2.
Yeah. So you see how fast we went over Colorado State.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of like you want to do like a recap video.
Yeah, sort of like a recap.
Not a recap, but what is the word I'm looking for? Like a breakdown of the season.
Yeah.
What do we think?
So we're saying right now that going into week 2, we should be 1-0.
Yes.
We should be.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty confident that Texas should take care of business. We're not gonna do spreads or anything like that. We're doing is just
whenever we get into the season, we'll start doing that.
We'll get back to doing that.
And we'll do what we do.
Yeah, this is just a recap of the preview of the season. Week 2, man. Oh my gosh.
Michigan, defending national champions in the big house.
In the big house. Yeah. That should be interesting. They lost their quarterback. They lost their head coach.
Running back. All their players. All their big players.
They're under some kind of investigation.
Mm-hmm.
There's allegations of them maybe doing a little bit of snooping on other teams. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jim Harbaugh already is under some sort of punishment. I don't know. I don't really know what it meant, but he's under some sort of 4-year punishment for what they did at Michigan.
To be honest, I think that he knew the heat was coming down on him, and he got out of there as fast as he could.
I think
he's
that's
like, all right, let me get my national championship, and then peace. I'm out of here.
Well, soon, if this gets any deeper, they might take away their national championship.
Yeah,
they've been talking about taking away Reggie Bush's Heisman.
Yeah, you could always do that, but they know it. I don't know. I didn't look too deep into it, but if they were cheating, that's not good. But those players went out there and
the players
to them, they're always going to be national champions.
The players, obviously they're a part of it because they were letting it happen. However, the coaches were the main people that were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that they had a disguise against Central Michigan.
Yeah.
And they were on their sideline listening to the coach, listening to the players, all of that.
Yeah. It's cheating. It's If it's true, it's straight up cheating. Shouldn't be allowed in the game. If you know what the other team is doing, it gives you the advantage. Not fair. You should be punished for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're looking into it. They're going to find out whether or not they did it or not. Yeah, but it's cheating. It just there's no way around it. Not good.
Yeah, you can't do
that game. It's kind of hard to predict because Michigan's a team that they reload just like everybody else.
It's in their stadium.
I mean, just like all the other big teams, I should say, Alabama, Michigan, Texas.
Yeah, no matter what,
there's talent on the field.
They're gonna reload.
So I'm curious to see how Texas can go into that environment. It's not SEC yet. We're talking Big Ten.
We're talking big.
The biggest of Big Ten football, right?
We're talking the defending national champions, something like the 3-time Big Ten champions.
And I'm looking, and the time it's gonna be game day. I have a feeling.
Oh yeah, that's game day for sure.
We got game day. The time is still to be announced.
Yeah.
Big house, 7:00 at night. Can you imagine?
That'd be awesome.
That's gonna be amazing. So
knowing college football, they're like gonna put that up like 2:30 or something.
2:30 prime time. They want the
2:30 would be nice.
That'd be nice. I'm hoping for a nighttime game.
A nighttime game will be awesome.
I'd love to see those uniforms out there at night underneath the lights of the big house.
Well, hold up. This isn't related, but did you see that people are talking about we might have a black helmet going into this year?
I saw that, and we see. I see it every year. Now that
now that we're in the SEC, and we got all this hype coming in.
Now that anybody can just go and tinker around with the Longhorn helmet online and post it and say, "Hey, look, this could be real."
Yeah.
Until I actually see Sark come out on an interview and
say,
hold the helmet up and say,
"Yeah,
we're gonna bring this out" or something like that, then I'll believe it. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean they've kind of played around with the helmet in the past with the throwback.
The chrome orange Longhorn.
That was kind of cool. Yeah, I really like when they wear the burnt orange jersey with the gold lettering.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
love that.
I mean, you can. They're 50-50 with Longhorn fans.
Yeah.
Some want it like to be Oregon with a new uniform every week, or something like that. It's crazy. They have like 700 uniforms.
Yeah, but how many national championships they have?
Exactly. And then other people want to say, don't take away the tradition of the two classic uniforms, the all whites and the orange.
The all whites, man, that just does it for me. I
mean, that's probably one of the best uniforms in college football.
I would agree. Yeah, I mean,
it could be the best,
but to me.
Well, I mean, I've seen experts rank it high.
When they're in they call them the Stormtrooper uniforms. When they're out there with them Stormtrooper uniforms on, oh man,
it's so awesome.
I love it, especially at night.
Oh, at night,
in those uniforms at night
in DKR,
as you guys say, as the young generation says, it just hits different.
It really does. It really does.
So Michigan, because Texas seems, they seem to be riding some kind of momentum. They got this wave
after
going,
week one
into the season.
All the people.
I think they win that game, but it's.
I think they're gonna be a very, very close game.
I think that's the game to where you set the tone for the season and you say, all right, we're ready to play with the biggest of boys. We want to win this big game, and we want to start thinking about the SEC and. So I think they win that game, and then they go they're 2-0 after that.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I can either see it being a shootout with a lot of offensive points, a lot of points in general, or a very defensive battle. Because Michigan has always had a good defense.
Yeah,
I mean they have the best player in NCAA. The new game is a defender for Michigan.
Okay,
so. I believe that Michigan's going to have a very good defense going into next year. They're going to be ready for our offense. And it's just going to be a battle between the defenses and the offenses.
I'm not going to do any point predictions, but I do think that Texas wins that game.
Yeah, same.
I'm going to say Texas wins that game. And that takes them into week 3. Week 3 is the UTSA Roadrunners. They think, San Antonio they think they got themselves a squad out there.
They really do.
There's a big buzz around that school. And, just like with Colorado State,
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. UTSA, this is going to be their
game of the year.
This is their game of the year, just like Colorado State, right?
Yeah.
So and they're right down the street from us. You know, they would love to just upset Texas.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Everyone wants to upset Texas.
I don't think they have the talent. I don't think they have. I mean, they probably have some talented players with Texas and these other big schools. They have depth. Depth is what kills these smaller teams.
Yeah, other teams have good starters, but they don't have anything behind that.
Yeah, so when you can rotate big guy after big guy, as we've seen with like the Alabamas and stuff like that, Georgias,
keep the energy rolling.
Those starters for UTSA, although they're big, they wear out. I mean, it's a game of attrition.
Yeah,
and those guys just wear down, and that was so frustrating about when you're playing at Alabama and you're like, all right, they're subbing out, but the teams that they sub out, those guys are just as big.
Those guys are just as good.
Like,
yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't get a break. So we're gonna handle UTSA. It might be close for a little bit, but I think we take care of business there.
Hoping that we can put some points there too. I'm pretty sure that's in DK.
That's
DKR.
another game back at home. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can win a big game at DKR against UTSA, another wannabe rival.
Yeah.
For Texas.
It's kind of a weird thing though. I mean, at the beginning of the season, we have we got a home game against Colorado State. Then we go to Michigan. Then we're home for DKR, and then we're home again for the Warhawks. ULM.
So we played them a couple years back. That was one of the first years I started getting into Texas football, and I remember we absolutely stomped on them. It was something crazy like 50-0 or something.
Yeah,
that's the game where they're getting paid to just play Texas. They're taking their money to play Texas. We're to go out there and beat them bad, put some points, get everyone hyped. Big win at home.
Okay.
I see us destroying UL Monroe that game.
Yeah. I think the Roadrunners are going to give us a little bit of a match up front. We'll end up beating them. Then when we get over to the Warhawks, this will be the week where you can rest some people because you're going to have injuries. It's part of the game.
And you already know the guy who they're going to put in.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and rest some people. Maybe get Arch in there, get his arm warmed up a little bit.
Yep.
Because the following week, SEC starts. You got Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Now, everyone's always sleeping on Mississippi State. They always got a good squad. But it's just crazy. It's just different what Texas has this year.
Ever since they've lost Dak, I mean, they've always just they've like, all right. It seems like I used to fear when I see Mississippi State. I used to say, all right, this should be a good game. But as of late, it seems like they're slowly on that decline. They're looking to come back up.
All they need is one player to rebuild the program. They're looking for that one guy.
Yeah. But that's here at DKR.
I mean, that's here at DKR.
I guarantee you, with the first SEC game here at DKR against Mississippi State, I have a feeling Texas is going to be out for blood, and they're going to put a whooping on that team. We really need to.
That's just we really have to. I mean, if you rest everyone the week before, get everyone ready, because next week is bye week.
Yeah,
put on the
2 bye weeks this year. Yeah.
It's pretty weird. 2 bye weeks.
Yeah. So Mississippi State, go out there. A lot of these are just they haven't announced any times on these. But you go out there. It's you get some guys worked in. Maybe get Arch out there again. Let them throw the ball around a little bit.
Show off the freshman.
I think we can handle Mississippi State. I say that, but.
That's
every team in the SEC.
I mean, anything can happen in the SEC.
Yeah, this is the first year in, man. I don't know what to expect. We get after Mississippi State. So I'm assuming after that game we're 5-0.
Yeah,
right.
And then we go into our bye week. We rest up, and we learn from the mistakes because I guarantee you there's going to be a couple mistakes in those first few weeks against the easy teams.
Yeah. And injuries. Because
also.
People are going to roll ankles.
That was the easy part of the season. Those first 5 games.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that's easy, but this is college football.
No shade to Mississippi State.
No shade to any of y'all.
Yeah.
They're all good. Then we start playing some real football.
I mean, the next 2 games are just like probably
one of the hardest 2 games back to back in football this year.
This is nuts. You got Oklahoma.
You got one of the biggest rivalries in college football,
if not the biggest.
If not the biggest, slept on by so many people. Mm-hmm. It all depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
You got Oklahoma, Texas.
It doesn't matter. I mean, like we've said this before, but just throw all the records out. If we're going in 5-0, they're going in 5-0, or if we're both going in 0-5.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a great game.
It's always gonna be a good game. Mm-hmm. We've seen it for the past 5 years. These are all good games.
Yeah,
except for 2 years ago, 49-0.
Oh, we loved every second of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, everyone just needs to remember all the stats in this game, all the records, all the numbers, all the predictions, all of it just needs to be thrown out the window. Mm-hmm. This game is just as even as the winner of the coin flip at the beginning. So
they lost their quarterback.
Right. And now they're down to their freshman quarterback. I'm pretty sure his name is Jackson Arnold.
Okay.
We saw him debut against Arizona.
Yeah.
And he was rattled. I think he threw 3 interceptions.
So, I mean, I'm sure their quarterback coach and all of their coaches have been working with him. If you're good enough...
he was one of the highest prospects in his class.
If you're good enough to go to Oklahoma, then you're good enough to play big-time football, and they're going to work with them. So I expect him to get all those kinks and all that stuff worked out. He's probably going to be a great quarterback. But that game, Texas.
You got to think about it, though. Compare the quarterbacks. This is his first year starting. Yeah. Ewers is back at Texas for his
And Ewers seems to have that swag, man. He just seems to be just so comfortable. I mean, he knows he's got he's got the university on his back, knowing that
this is like Vince
as
Young
fans have the highest of expectations going into SEC play. All leading up to, I don't want to mention the name of the team yet, but that last game of the year, we'll get to that here in a minute. Mm-hmm. We're building up to, I mean, the crescendo at the end of the season is going to be amazing. And we'll get there. I think they beat Oklahoma.
I think we beat Oklahoma too, just because even if our talent's the same, we have much more experience on the offensive side. Oklahoma's brought a lot of new guys in, but a lot of their seniors, their returners, they all left. They all got offers. So I believe we win this game off of just people coming back, and we have people that have chemistry with each other. I bet Ewers goes off this game against OU, gets revenge for last year.
And don't forget, Ewers is on a Heisman campaign.
Yeah.
He's looking to put up numbers. I mean, so I see them throwing the ball around a lot.
But I also want to say it's not going to be a blowout. We're not going to blow Oklahoma out. It's going to be a close game.
Oh, man. After this, I mean, starting this game, there's a couple little ones that I see in here, but starting this game, forget about your blowouts.
Yeah,
I mean,
no more blowouts.
Yeah, I mean, you got Vanderbilt. You know, that might be a little bit of a
Arkansas,
blowout.
Kentucky.
But not even Arkansas. I see all those games being close. But you're going to have some close games.
So I imagine Texas is out for blood against Oklahoma. Last year, they're going to out there firing on all cylinders. I bet we go up early, and then Oklahoma kind of creeps back into it, but in the end, we do win that game.
I think we win that game too, which gets us rolling into the Georgia Bulldogs.
This is
DKR.
Everyone already knows this is game day. No matter what, this is game
day. And to be honest, I mean, this was Texas's first loss of the season. I was thinking Georgia, because of, what they've done in the past. I was saying that. Now that Texas is, just looking at some of the little cliff notes that the injury to Baxter is huge.
Yeah, that's
a bummer.
But remember, we're Texas. We're starting to turn it back in. We're starting to become running back university. I mean, we've provided Jamal Charles, Ricky Williams, Earl Campbell, all the big names, and then the new guys like Bijan, Brooks, Baxter was a beast last year, but he just sadly had to get hurt. Yeah, and now we have talent back there. It doesn't matter if it's huge that he went down, but we have depth. Yeah, we have a lot of depth in the running back room. We have Jaden Blue, who is one of the fastest guys I've ever seen run. I
The
think.
guy's a monster, man.
He's also
imagine him running downhill at full speed.
And then you also got the new guys like Contravion Wisner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a beast. There's another guy. What was his name? I don't know. He was the guy that I was telling you about.
Uh-huh.
The guy that's built like an absolute tank. We got him. They're calling him a power back instead of a running back.
Yeah.
Because of how big he is.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we also have even more depth. We have some freshmen coming in. We can turn some guys into running backs. We have so much talent back
I'm
there.
not so scared about it. The main thing for the Baxter injury for me, I wasn't scared. I was just sad that he got hurt.
Yeah.
Because he had such high hopes going into the season. But, I mean, rest up, kid. You know, I mean, get healthy. And then next year, do it again, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he's going to be fine.
I mean, we saw it last year whenever Brooks went down last year, the starter, going off to break all kinds of records.
Mm-hmm.
Baxter came in and dominated.
Yeah.
So now Blue is here. He's really, really high for this season.
Uh-huh.
He knows this is his senior year. You put up numbers here, you can go to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He had no intention to go into the NFL before Brooks got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Brooks got hurt, he was a second back. And now Baxter got hurt. He's running back 1. This is his year. He needs to put up numbers.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, Georgia, Texas, I mean, I'm giving the slightest, and I mean a hair-thin, slight advantage to Texas only because it's at DKR.
It's at DKR?
I think it's at DKR. The fans are going to be absolutely
the fans
nuts.
The fans this game, it's going to be like OU Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we haven't played Georgia since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened then.
I think this could be the first game to where you may need an Auburn to go out there and kick a game-winning field goal. This could be something like that.
He's been working on it.
It's going to be it's going to be that close of a game.
We're gonna have a lot of moments whenever we need Auburn to step up this season.
Because you can't forget, Georgia, they want to welcome us to the SEC with a punch in the face.
Yeah, they want to. We've seen it before. We've seen Georgia absolutely kill teams out there on the field.
So
when we saw it in the national championship 2 years ago, we saw them give Florida State a shot back at reality whenever they were doing all their campaigns. Lost 63-3.
Mm-hmm.
They've done it to teams before. Whenever teams have all this hype, They play Georgia these past few years. Whenever Georgia's been super good, and Georgia shuts them up.
It just puts them right back to reality. It's like, okay, so this you're not on our level yet.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a very close game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to predict it yet. I don't want to think about predicting it yet because I need to see what we have, what they have. It all depends on how both of us go into this game. We need to both go into this game with a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is we have to play Oklahoma the week before.
Yeah.
So all of our
That's a tough one.
The momentum could be killed.
Yeah.
Or all of the momentum could just shoot up times a million.
I didn't even take that into consideration. Texas is going to be riding some kind of a high wave or low wave going into that game. I wish we had a bye week after that game, but I mean, it is what it is. You play the skills you're given, which takes us into, speaking of schedule, that takes us right into Vanderbilt.
I mean, no matter what happens in the Georgia game, if we win, we're going to want to put up points just because we know that what the team we are. We want to put it on another SEC team. We can say we just dominated an SEC team. Or if we lose to Georgia, we want to put it on a team real bad to prove that we can still be a top team.
And that's where you feel sorry for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Because if we lose to Georgia, Vanderbilt, I mean, we need style points.
They got set up, especially after that gauntlet. I mean, Texas is going to go for that game in either glory or blood. For just, if we lose, they want to just kill them. 70-0, something crazy.
Yeah. And that puts us back on the road, too. I mean, we got Michigan early in the season. OU, Texas, I don't consider that a road game. That's at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas.
Obviously.
And then we, Georgia comes to our house, and then we're back on the road. We play Vanderbilt at First Bank Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee.
So we're going to Vanderbilt.
So what do you think about Vanderbilt? Who's their quarterback?
Nate Johnson, I'm pretty sure. Some super speedster.
Okay.
He's super, super fast.
Okay. You know what the crazy thing about that is? Our defense, they are quick.
Well, our defense is very fast.
They can move. I don't think any running quarterback has a chance against our speed on defense.
I mean, we've also we've been talking about reloading on offense. Texas probably reloaded more on defense.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, we loaded on corners, backers, linemen, all of that.
Yeah.
We brought all the talent in, and next year we got even more, way more talent.
Yeah.
Coming in 2025, so. We should be good to keep up with a quarterback like
that can move around a little bit. Mm-hmm.
We should be able to keep up. I mean, Vanderbilt, they've been, ever since they moved into the SEC, they've just been every team's practice week.
Kind of a little bit of doormat.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is what it is.
It's always been every team's style points. All the team's highs. Yeah.
I'm not going to overlook them. I'm not going to overlook
they're the SEC.
Anybody. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you put Vanderbilt into, like, the ACC, I bet they go 8-4.
I'm sure there's so many people out there with this little bit of, you got Oklahoma, Georgia, and then Vanderbilt, and then you get another off week. I know there's people out there that are saying there's no way Texas survives those 3 games without one loss somewhere in there. I'm saying they escaped the gauntlet 3-0. I mean, totally biased again. I know. Call me a homer all you want, but I believe in this team.
I mean, I believe that even Vanderbilt could pull the upset in that 1 week, but with Texas coming off of those 5 weeks, if we can put up some crazy number like 150 points in total those first few weeks, to show that we're a high flying offense and go into Red River, get our revenge, play Georgia, very, very close game. I think the spread's 1.5 for that game. Might as well even make it half. We go to Vanderbilt, do whatever we need to do there, and then we go into the bye week. I say, also bias, we escape 3-0.
Yeah, and that's when you rest up those players. I mean, the only way Vanderbilt makes it a game is if Oklahoma and Georgia, I'm knocking on wood here, we lose some top tier athletes. Ewers goes down, or we lose another running back. That's the only way I think Vanderbilt can hang with us.
But even if that, we still have so much depth out there. Yeah. We have so many people out there that can play the positions.
We know who we got as backup quarterback. So that's not.
He's shown improvement. The spring game, he had an amazing spring game. Everyone's wanting him to start the season. But we need people that have played before. And Arch is gonna wait. He wants to wait because he knows the quarterback, and he knows next year if Ewers doesn't leave next year, Arch is gone.
It's good to have a quarterback of that, that high of a quarterback willing to ride the bench for the team.
Yeah,
because he could go anywhere and be the starter. Right? But he's willing to sit another year behind Ewers.
Learn from Ewers, learn from the coaches.
And then next year...
It's his year.
It's his team.
And then next year, we got another good backup coming in. The year after that, I mean, I was telling you the other day, we've been looking at quarterbacks all the way probably till 2029 or something. Looking at 8th grade quarterbacks to play for Texas.
That's wild. Very wild. So the off week, we rest up, we get everybody healthy, and then... back to DKR. Here come those Gators. The Gators have
the hardest schedule.
That team is going to be beat down by the time they come to us.
I feel super bad for them. I mean, first of all, they're in the SEC. That's already super hard. But with their matchups, they're playing Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, LSU, all these big names.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, people are saying they need to win 8 games to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's being super nice. They could win 7. They can go 7-5. Those 7 wins can be super good wins, and they can be in the college football playoffs. That's how hard their schedule is.
They have a very hard schedule. I forgot what their over was for total wins of the season.
Pretty sure it's 3.5.
Gosh almighty. That's bad.
And they have everyone doesn't know, but Florida has a really, really good team this year.
So, I mean, I would take Florida to go over that. I mean,
I would too.
They're still Florida. I mean,
Florida.
They get talent. They have crazy speed always. They always get those speedsters. So, I mean, Texas is gonna beat them, but I think Florida goes over 3.
Yeah, I think Florida, that'd be a pretty good bet to
You're not going to hold that team down to only 3 wins. Come on.
I mean, as soon as they win one game, they're going to be hyped, and they want to win at least 5-6 games this year.
Oh, I mean, they want to win every game. I mean, you're talking about a big time school there. I mean, you're not talking about Vanderbilt.
I mean, even if Florida loses one game, if they go 11-1, you could be seeing them as number 1 in the rankings, even though they lose once.
So just looking at their games here, I mean, they start off with Miami, then they got Samford, Texas A&M,
so
Mississippi State.
One easy game so far.
Yeah, I mean, after that, UCF.
UCF also loaded.
So Samford, UCF, then they go to Tennessee, they go to Kentucky, to Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State. Oh, they gotta win 4 games.
I don't
know where they're gonna get them, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you already know they're gonna win against Samford. Like I said against Louisiana Monroe, I'm guaranteed Samford got paid to play Florida. They're gonna go in there, try to pull the upset, but it's gonna be another Oregon Portland State from last year, 81-0, something crazy.
Okay, so we take care of Florida, right? We're riding that wave. We're still undefeated.
And then
Arkansas Razorbacks.
What Sarkisian said, Arkansas hates Texas more than they like themselves.
That's so true. That is so true.
So
Arkansas, they always play Texas tough. Those fans, I mean, Texas and Arkansas fans, I mean, we just do not like each other.
Yeah, we do not like each other. I mean, we've never been able to establish the real rivalry like OU, Texas, and the game that should not be said till the end.
That's another game at DKR. No, I'm sorry. That's DWR Razorback Stadium.
So we're playing Arkansas in Arkansas.
Yeah.
I mean, last time we played them, we killed a Razorback. They couldn't kill the Longhorn because they would have. They would have.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
I don't know too much about their team. I just know that Texas has enough talent, I think, to handle them.
Arkansas sometimes reloads, but with how they've been doing the past few years, they had a guy that opened up as one of the Heisman favorites last year.
Quarterback, yeah.
But they went like 3-9.
Yeah, he struggled being consistent. That quarterback. He had a big arm.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
He had a huge arm, but it was kind of like a
Malik Murphy.
Come on, you never know what you're gonna get. Malik Murphy. Yeah,
you're describing Malik Murphy, really.
We'll be rooting for you this year.
Yeah, we got you.
Duke. Yeah, go Blue Devils unless you play us. Yeah.
So Arkansas, I mean, it's also tough whenever we play Arkansas because it's a rivalry game, big rivalry game. Anything can happen. We saw it a couple of years back. We were big favorites, and then they ended up, you know what happened.
Yeah.
So, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
I think we win that game too, man. To be honest, I mean, Arkansas is going to play you tough, but I think Texas runs away with that game in the second half, only because of the depth of the team, right? Kentucky Wildcats. That's your next matchup, and it's back in DKR. Last game in
DKR, so you got to go out with a bang.
Yeah.
I don't know much.
What do you know about the Wildcats?
About Kentucky either.
I don't either. I know that they've been.
I know they had a good running back last year who had a pretty good season. His name was Ray Davis. He was super fast, super big. I don't know if he's still there. He might have gone to the NFL. But that was their only player last year, I'm pretty sure. So I believe we will beat Kentucky pretty big because it's the last game at home.
Yeah.
We got to put it on the team because you know who's next week.
You have to have the highest of momentum rolling in to Kyle Field. And
12th man stadium.
I didn't think I would ever see this game again. I thought that they took off to the SEC and then we'd never get to play them again. And then here we come.
Yep. As soon as Texas signed that deal to be in the SEC a couple years back, everyone was saying, everyone was just talking about Texas and Texas A&M are going to play football again.
Ticket prices through the roof. Impossible ticket to get. It's going to be more than
hundreds
likely
of thousands of dollars.
more
for
than
some
likely
tickets.
that's game day, and it's going to be a night game. I would assume they have.
Well, I would imagine it would be game day, but I mean, you already know what game is played. The last game of the year.
Who's that?
The game. Michigan, Ohio State.
I mean, but if both of those teams are really, really good.
Well, no matter what, I believe every single year, if they keep playing last game of the year, that will be game day.
Yeah.
Because that's what they say is the biggest rivalry in college football.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not a neutral stadium, the first neutral stadium in the rivalry list is Texas, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan and Ohio State fans, both of those fans are saying they're starting to hate each other less. So I believe the ranking should be, I'm not going to be biased on this, it should be Auburn, Alabama.
Okay, I agree.
Texas, Oklahoma, and then the game.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's probably a good list there. I go back and forth with 1 and 2 because I am biased.
Yeah.
I've been to that.
Well,
game.
if I'm doing my bias list, obviously you know it's number 1. And you know it's number 2 as well.
Alabama, Auburn, man, that's got to be something else.
That's the definition of you cannot predict a game.
Yeah.
Auburn, for the past 2 years, I pray for Auburn fans because the last 2 years they were up at the end of the game. Alabama makes a drive, Auburn makes a stop, and then Alabama pulls off a miraculous play to win.
God,
and when we saw it 4th and 31, Isaiah Bond, you know who you are. You're back you're at Texas now. We're looking at you. And then the previous year they won by a field goal or something. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's always a tough game, man. I mean,
Auburn always wants to go into that game because those teams truly hate each other.
Yeah.
And there's split households between those teams because they're both in Alabama.
Yeah.
I believe it's not a neutral site. I'm almost positive it isn't. But those two teams, I mean, they go into that game. The refs on that game, they don't really do much. They just let them play football.
They know they're going to be hitting late. Yeah.
Just like Texas, Oklahoma.
You got
to allow a little bit of more contact in those games.
Play to the echo of the whistle. Yeah. I hope Auburn has a decent squad this year because I remember the heyday when when Auburn and Alabama would both go into that game with very, very good records and just mash it out. Mash it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I say that game should be, if I'm not being biased, that should be the best. That should be the most heated rivalry of college football.
So I mean. We did Kentucky. Now you go to Texas A&M, and I'm excited about that game. I can't predict it though. I can't because they have talent.
Texas A&M is another one of those teams that no matter what happens, I mean they lost their head coach this year, and they're still loading on talent.
Yeah.
I saw the other day that they got another 4-star commit.
Yeah.
They're loading on talent,
and I think they're on their heels a little bit about this game only because Texas is definitely on paper the better team. Right? But they would love to just put us in our place in the SEC and say, "Hey, this is a lot
of people are predicting we lose this game."
A lot of people are predicting that. Yeah, I just
a lot of people are saying we're 12-0 going into this game, and then the 12th man gets to us and we lose.
Man, I mean. Say what you want to say about the Aggies, but their fans show up. They're loud.
Yeah,
no matter how the team's doing.
We all hate the Aggies, but you gotta respect those fans. They're committed to their team.
Yeah.
Even this year, most of those people, even if we dominate against A&M, they're still gonna be big time A&M fans. Huge A&M fans.
And they'll be there the whole game. They'll be loud. They'll be cheering.
They won't leave.
A lot of teams that when they're doing great or they leave at halftime and they never come back. Those fans stay for the game.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty hard to play whenever the entire crowd is helping the team. That's why they call it the 12th man. They have a 12th man on the field, like they say. They got the fans.
I can't predict that game, man. I just can't. It could be Texas's first loss of the year. I don't know. If Texas can win that game and be undefeated, they're right where they need to be.
SEC championship going into that, and then after that we got this new first year of the 12-team playoff. Everyone doesn't know how it works, but
yeah, well, it's kind of a learn as you go kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure it's every Power 4 conference winner is ranked. So no matter what, Big 12 winner, ACC winner, Big 10 winner, and SEC winner will be in it. Most likely, SEC is going to be number 1, and the Big 10 number 2, and then probably, ACC and Big 12, they don't have much talent in those.
Yeah.
You got Utah in the Big 12, and then who do you got in?
The Big 12, I'm giving it to Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
I think that they're going to win that league. They always.
They've been there. You also got Kansas State. You got Kansas.
Everybody's saying Kansas is going to have a decent year.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
If I see Kansas playing, I'll always root for them.
Yeah.
I respect.
You got a soft spot for Kansas.
Yeah, with what they've been through the past few years, going 10-2, sometimes 0-12, all of that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I just hope Kansas has a good year, one of their best years ever. Go back to 2007 or whatever it was. Hope they have a year.
Yeah. I put it on Oklahoma State. I got Oklahoma State to win that conference. Yeah. Kansas, they have to show me some consistency with their play. You come out, you can play a good game, and then the next week come out and look like trash. You need to come out.
We saw it against Oklahoma last year. They upset Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And then, we also saw Oklahoma was a fraud. They lost to Oklahoma State as well, and then we put it on Oklahoma State. So we should see. I'd be very happy to see Kansas at least go into the Big 12 championship.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see. Yeah.
I respect Oklahoma State as well, but whenever I see Kansas on the field, I just want to root for them.
So we'll be doing that. It'll be the same format as last year. We'll pick 3 games, 3 games that we like. It'll always end with the Texas prediction.
We'll go NFL, college. Most likely we'll always go game day. If we're game day, we'll pick another game that we think could have been second for game day.
Yeah.
Because we want every game for us to be game day.
You gonna try to work in some guests this year?
We could try to work in some guests here instead of making their predictions elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're kind of messing around with locations of doing it. I know.
Yeah, we might try something else. We might try to record next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'd like to try to do one outside where it's a little bit lighter out there, but yeah, we'll just kind of see how that all goes.
And then maybe I don't want to say anything, but we'll record what you've been talking about with that guy. About DKR.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there later. Yeah, we have to show some pictures or something.
You should know. He's installing cabinets for DKR Stadium.
Yeah, so we're gonna be
right next to DKR himself, right?
Yeah. So we'll post when it's all said and done and they're installed.
Just know that if you ever go to DKR, he made those cabinets.
We'll show you. Yeah, we'll show you. Pretty excited about that. So that's
pretty awesome.
Gonna be pretty cool.
So hopefully we can do something about that. Maybe if you end up getting what you get with that person you've been talking to and what happened, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. First guest of the season.
Yep.
Here's Paisley, and bud, you want to sign us off?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go over some more stuff? It's up to you, man. This is your thing.
Let's go over just real quick. Let's go over I'll just list the rankings.
Okay.
That what 24/7 Sports said.
Okay.
So, and you can tell me if you agree, disagree.
Okay.
So number 1, they're saying Ohio State.
Okay.
Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, Oregon. Number 5, Ole Miss.
Okay.
Number 6, Alabama. Number 7, Penn State. Number 8, Notre Dame. Number 9, Michigan. And number 10, Tennessee.
Okay. I think the only one that, I didn't watch a lot of Ole Miss football last year, but it seems like everybody seems to be on Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Everybody's really high on them. Penn State, Notre Dame, that's fool's gold.
They're always good, but I don't know if they should be preseason ranked.
I get it. They're big names, so I get all that. But we'll see how we'll see. think you would want to work in someone like
I would want to work in someone. Try to see if you can get someone from the Big 12, like Utah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Why not? Why isn't Oklahoma State in there?
Yeah, Oklahoma State, Utah, something like that.
Yeah, show them some love.
But I wouldn't say Michigan's there.
These week 1 predictions are just. I mean, come on.
I mean, I've seen some where Georgia's number 1. I've seen some where we're number like 6 or something. There's some crazy people out there.
Okay.
So I've seen some also where we're number 1.
I like that.
But I would just flip Georgia and Ohio State. Georgia number 1, Ohio State number 2.
Us 3.
Us 3, Oregon 4, Ole Miss. I think I like Ole Miss 5, but I'd rather flip them in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So Alabama 5, Ole Miss 6.
Oh yeah, we didn't say anything about Alabama. Nick Saban leaving. I think that it's a big deal that he is leaving.
Yeah.
But they got an amazing coach from Washington.
Yeah, I mean he went to the national championship.
I think they're going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Alabama's going to fall off a cliff. I think they're going to be a good team.
So I think this is pretty good. I mean, everyone's on Notre Dame. They're saying they're going to go undefeated. So we'll get back to this next week. Mm-hmm. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can do something else like we'll break down and we'll maybe talk about what we saw this offseason with Texas.
Yeah.
And how we're getting ready for the season.
And this was just a breakdown of like the season. Now going up to week 1, we'll really start looking into starting positions and how the teams look.
We'll talk about a bunch of stuff. We'll talk about I don't even know. We'll talk about everything.
Talk about everything.
Maybe next week we'll have someone else here.
Yeah, and if I mean for the people out there that are watching this and listening to it, if there's anything that you want us to talk about, just. I mean,
I
guess they say leave a comment and we'll talk about it. It don't matter.
I mean, we really will talk about anything.
Literally talk about anything.
We always talk about anything. We talk about space.
Yeah, some of the
other countries.
Some of the countries that we are conversations that we get into are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you want us to talk about anything football wise,
we can get on this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Let us know.
We'll do anything really.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun to do.
Yeah, but so.
And that's it.
Go ahead and sign us off, man.
All right. So this was the first week back on Parker's predictions. We're hoping to get back next week. We probably will.
Mm-hmm.
So So he's Jimmy, she's Paisley, and I'm Parker, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Hook 'em.